let's talk about artificial intelligence. Because it's not some far-off concept on the horizon anymore. It's in your boardroom, right now, whether you can see it or not. And for corporate directors, this isn't just another tech trend to keep an eye on. No, this is probably the single biggest governance challenge and honestly the biggest strategic opportunity of our time.
And you've got to make no mistake about this. AI is already woven into the fabric of your organization. It's crunching the numbers in your marketing analytics, it's the chatbot talking to your customers, it's forecasting your supply chain. So the real question isn't if you're using AI. It's whether you, as a director, have any real visibility into how it's being used and, maybe even more importantly, how it's being governed.
So let's get on the same page with a clear board-level definition. At its heart, AI does things that normally require human intelligence. But for governance, there are three things that really matter. First, automation, which can straight up replace human judgment. Second, incredible speed and scale. And third, and this is the big one, opacity. We're talking about the black box risk, the fact that you often can't see how an AI got to its conclusion. And that is a direct challenge to the bedrock principles of accountability and being able to audit anything.
And this all creates what you could call the board's core dual mandate. You have to tackle AI on two fronts at the exact same time. You've got to seize it for strategic growth while also defending the entire organization from the very real threats it can create. It's the ultimate balancing act, really. It's offense versus defense. Yeah, this slide just lays that balancing act out perfectly. On one side, you've got AI as this incredibly powerful strategic lever. I mean, it can unlock brand new business models we haven't even thought of yet. But on the other side, it's a massive disruptive threat. If your competition masters AI and you don't, you're not just falling behind, you're risking becoming totally obsolete. The potential liabilities are huge, and the cost of getting it wrong could be, well, existential.
So this brings us to the first question that every single board needs to be asking management right now. It reframes AI from just another tech project into a core piece of corporate strategy. Are we leading the charge here, or are we playing catch-up?
And you know, right on the heels of strategy comes risk. AI brings a whole new world of risks to the table. Things like algorithmic bias, model hallucinations, which is a wild one where the AI just confidently makes up false information, and all sorts of new cyber vulnerabilities. You can't just cram these into your old frameworks. They demand to be formally integrated into your enterprise risk management, your ERM process.
Okay, so how does all this theory actually translate to the reality of your role? The thing is, AI isn't some abstract topic for a meeting 6 months from now. It is already showing up in the materials you review and in the basic processes of the board itself.
In fact, you're probably already running into AI in 4 key areas. You know those briefing packs you read before a meeting? They might be summarized by AI. The what-if scenarios management is presenting, probably modeled by AI. Your real-time risk dashboards? Yep, AI-powered. Heck, even the minutes from your last meeting might have been drafted by an AI.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how this changes the kind of questions you need to ask. When you see an output from an AI model, but say it's a financial forecast, your duty as a director is to try and pierce that black box. You have to ask, who validated this thing? What data is it built on? And what's our plan for when it messes up? Because it will mess up. But here's the thing. Despite AI's rapid creep into everything we do, a really dangerous gap is opening up between how fast it's being adopted and how it's being overseen. The data here tells a pretty sobering story. Most boards are way behind the curve.
I mean, just look at this statistic from a recent survey by the National Association of Corporate Directors. It's staggering. While pretty much every board is talking about AI, a full 77% have not formally assessed how it could completely disrupt their company's strategy. That's not just a gap, my friends. That is a massive blind spot.
And this isn't just some theoretical risk. Just look at Berkshire Hathaway. A shareholder recently put forward a proposal demanding a dedicated board committee just to oversee AI risks. The message from investors couldn't be clearer. AI oversight is now a fundamental expectation, even for a huge decentralized company like that.
So this case poses a direct challenge to every director listening. Are you actively asking management for a complete inventory of every AI deployment and its associated risks across the entire company? If you're not, you might have the exact same blind spot that investors are now starting to target. And if you want a real glimpse into what the future of governance might look like, get this. A major holding company in the UAE has actually appointed an AI named Aiden Insight as a formal board observer. Its job is to provide unbiased data and insights during the meetings. This isn't a thought experiment from a university. It's a real, novel governance arrangement that's happening right now.
So that naturally leads to a pretty provocative question for you to think about. Would your board ever do this? Would you put an AI on your board? And if you did, how on earth would you manage the liability? How would you make sure its outputs are accurate and unbiased? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a real governance dilemma you might actually face.
All right, so faced with this incredibly complex new landscape, what should you actually do? It's time for a clear, actionable playbook for effective AI oversight.
Here are 5 absolutely critical actions. First, demand a full inventory of all AI systems. You can't govern what you can't see. Second, evaluate your board's own skills. Do you have the expertise you need in that room? Third, formally integrate AI into your risk framework. Don't just tack it on as a footnote. Fourth, ensure you have independent audits of your models to validate their integrity. And finally, number 5, you have to constantly monitor the rapidly changing global regulatory landscape, because being compliant today does not guarantee you'll be compliant tomorrow.
At the end of the day, all of this really comes down to one thing. AI is an incredibly powerful tool. It can augment our decisions, make us smarter, faster. But it cannot and it must not replace human judgment. So the final question for every single director is this: in an age of intelligent machines, how will you exercise yours?